Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's session of setting up all of the assignments through Canvas. This is Professor Rodriguez, and I'm going to start by talking about your submissions. The first introductory paragraph and your body paragraph. And unfortunately, a lot of students still wrote in first and second person, as much as we talked about not writing in first and second person. In an argumentative essay, you have to avoid I, we, or you. You have to write from an outside perspective, and it can't be a personal narrative. It can't be about your experiences. Where you can become narrative is in the conclusion. And that's where you could say, I recommend, according to what I've discovered during this essay, and then you can talk about it. But other than that, you cannot. And so a handful of students were writing from the very beginning, I, we, you, which you have to avoid. And so you need to go back to the modules and go over the lessons on first person versus third person. Second, there were a lot of students that didn't include a thesis statement in your introductory paragraph. The thesis statement is the roadmap to the reader telling us what you're going to argue for. What are your claims? Right? And then you have to justify your claims in your essay. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit share screen, and I'm going to go to the whiteboard, and I'm going to outline your essay. And so obviously, number one, you need a title, but your title doesn't have to come right this second, but by the end of your essay, when you turn in your final essay, you have to come up with a title. Number two, it has to have a hook. The very first sentence is the hook sentence. This hooks your reader. And it can be a quote. It can be a statistic. It could be a powerful sentence. It could be humorous. But it has to mention your topic. Okay? After your hook, then you write general statements about your topic. Then you write more specific information. So maybe you're going with 2 sentences here, and then maybe you're coming in with 3 sentences here. In other words, you're getting on a roll. right? And then finally, you include your thesis / roadmap statement. Here, you're telling the reader where you're going, what you're arguing for. And since the topic is the abuse, the results of the abuse of cell phones on young people and its effect on their mental abilities, that's what you say. And there are so many negative effects of the abuse of the cell phone. That's why you do your research. That's why I had you find an article that talks about it. And there is so much going on statistically and scientifically that it's so easy to find at least 3 things that are affecting the mental health of young people. And if you specifically watch the Netflix special, that, social dilemma, it points out, who knows, maybe 10 different effects. So you can pick and choose, do your research on those things, find lots of really good information, and then you pick 3 things, right? You pick 3 things that you're going to write about. All right. So next, your first body paragraph is about one subject only. One subject only. If you're writing about depression, suicidal tendencies, anxiety, antisocial behavior, one subject in your first body paragraph. And you start off your first body paragraph with a topic sentence. And the very first topic sentence is taken from your thesis statement. In your thesis statement, you're going to say something like, because of the abuse of the smartphone, among young people, teenagers, adolescents, it has increased the levels of anxiety, depression, sleep deprivation, on and on and on. So the very first topic that you mention in your thesis roadmap is the subject of your topic sentence. So however you mention them, in whatever order, that's the order that you write them in your body paragraphs. So you start off your body paragraph with a topic sentence taken from your thesis statement. Then the rest of the paragraph supports your claim, right? For example, you may say something like, according to Time magazine, or according to Psychology Today, whatever percentage of young people are affected with anxiety as a result of their overdependence on their cell phone, or spending 5 to 8 hours a day on their cell phone, whatever it is, then the rest of your paragraph supports your claim. And you support your claim with specific information that has to be acknowledged. Acknowledged, right. In other words, you have to cite, according to Psychology Today, according to this study done in India, according to whatever, and then you place your findings. Then you say why. Why is it important? Why is it important that we recognize these studies? And you could list 2 or 3 things, but you cannot say me, we, I, right? That's first and second person. You can't say you. Okay? You have to write from an outside perspective. Okay? So your first body paragraph is about one subject only. You start with the topic sentence. The rest of the paragraph supports your claim with specific information that has to be acknowledged. And so now you've got 2 paragraphs done. Remember, these things, this is a 1,500-word essay. So it most likely is going to have 6 paragraphs. Why? Because you need 3 body paragraphs, and then you're going to need your counter argument, which I will get into that later. So you figure, well, six paragraphs, right? 6 paragraphs. Let's see, where is it? Okay, 6 paragraphs. 1,500 words divided by 6 paragraphs is 250 words per paragraph. That's not a lot of words, because you're breaking it down. Each paragraph is about one subject. Okay, so your first, I'm just going to put it down here. Second and third body paragraph are about one subject only. One subject only. Each one has a topic sentence, and each one needs for you to support your claim with specific information. So you've got your introduction, 1 paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, you're down to 4 paragraphs. Then you're going to do the counter argument, which I'll upload something on that. Then you have your closing, right? Your conclusion. And I will upload a specific presentation on the conclusion also, because sometimes students don't realize how powerful the conclusion is. And so they skimp on it. But the conclusion may be your most powerful paragraph, because you're summarizing everything. You're going to reword your thesis statement, and then you're going to pick out key points that you're arguing for. Remember, you are arguing the point that the overuse of the cell phone among young people is detrimental to their mental capacity, to their cognitive thinking. And that's where you're going. You want to be very, very adamant about it. You don't want to be weak and nilly-willy about it. You want to say, this is a problem. This is why it's a problem. And maybe in your conclusion, you'll say, maybe we should do something about it and think about what we can do about it. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Canvas. And it's really important that you read each and every module, each and every section, they're designed to help you to be successful in this class. So I'm going to go over there to I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go back here. You should become very familiar with this. You'll be checking this every day. I'm not going to go over everything, but as I mentioned, I haven't posted anything since the 10th because we need to get through this first. Okay? Here it says, share your thesis statement roadmap. I uploaded this last week. I didn't put any points on it. Only one person shared. So there's 50 points on it. You have until Thursday to upload your thesis statement and to comment on other thesis statements. Very important. This will help you because some of your thesis statements are not thesis statements, and some of you did not include a thesis statement in your introductory paragraph. The other thing we talked about here is how to write a thesis statement roadmap. Here's 2 things on it, 2 inclusions, and then here's third person versus first person. It's amazing to me how we went over it, and lots of students still were writing I and we and I think, and my essay is going to be about, that's not what this is at all. All right, let's take a look. First person, I, we, you. Second person, you. Third person, he, she, it, or they. Those are the pronouns that you use. Watch this really cool, simple, very down-to-earth explanation of how to write in third person. This way there's no confusion. You need to write this in third person. It's not a narrative, and it's not an explanatory essay. So let me go back. Read this first model paragraph. This is a really good paragraph when it talks about the introduction. I love the title, Battling the Epidemic and Struggles of Teen Social Media Use. This is a great example. If you just to read this, you can see how it flows and what they're talking about, right? And take a look at her thesis statement. While smartphones and social media use are not to blame entirely, social media platforms are a contributing cause behind suicide, anxiety, and body dysmorphic disorder among teens. Okay, so this is what she is going to argue for. These are her claims. Suicide, anxiety, and body dysmorphic disorder. So then, if you go to the model, this is the complete model of that essay. And you know what she says, the 3 things that she's going to argue for, right? Suicide, anxiety, and body dysmorphic disorder. So, what is her first topic in her first body paragraph? Suicide. Okay, there she goes right away in her topic sentence. Teens today are facing alarming rates of suicide in today's society. Okay, so then the following body paragraph, anxiety. Is that the second thing that she mentions? Anxiety, there it is. And finally, body dysmorphic disorder, which is very, very interesting. It blew my mind when she came up with it. Here it is. In addition, teens are developing a mental disorder known as body dysmorphic disorder. And then she talks about it, right? And then this is the counter argument. The counter argument is basically you're sharing the opposition's position on the subject, that smartphones are really powerful tools that we could use to support our lifestyle. But is it worth the mental challenges for young people is it? Okay. And then the conclusion. And then, of course, she cites everything here. So everything is here for you. This is not an essay that you could just try to write off the top of your head. You need to plan it. And let's see, where is free writing strategies. And here, this PowerPoint, it tells you how to brainstorm. And there's different ways of brainstorming. And this is a really good, I mean, I've gone through a lot of PowerPoints looking for things that was really succinct. It doesn't have a lot of fat in it. And if you go through and you read this, and then it shows you how to pre-write, right? Brainstorming, clustering, free writing, outlining the 6 journalist questions. So you need to plan. This is not, again, this is not an essay that you could try to write 1,500 words off the top of your head about the dangers of cell phone abuse. All right, I'm going down my checklist here. I think that's all I've got. I'm going to go ahead and edit this thing down a little bit, and I'm going to post it, and then I'm going to send out email, and I'm going to ask all students to come back here and go through this video with a fine-tooth comb. All right, have a great day, and I will also be setting up one-on-ones through the email. Yeah, I need to meet each and every one of you individually through a Zoom meeting. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.